Coverdale Bible, the first book of Moses, called Genesis. What this book containeth. Chapter 30. Rachel giveth Jacob her maid, and so doth Leah. They bear him children. His reward is appointed with a condition, whereby he is made rich. The 30th chapter. When Rachel saw that she bare no children unto Jacob, she had envy at her sister, and said unto Jacob, Give me children also, or else I am but dead. But Jacob was very wroth at Rachel, and said, Am I then in God's stead, which keepeth the fruit of thy womb from thee? Nevertheless, she said, Behold, there is Bilhah, my maiden. Lie with her, that she may bear upon my lap, and that I may be increased by her. And so she gave him Bilhah, her maiden, to wife. And Jacob lay with her. So Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. Then said Rachel, God hath given sentence on my side, and heard my voice, and given me a son. Therefore called she him Dan. Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare another son unto Jacob. Then said Rachel, God hath turned it with me, and my sister, and I have gotten the upper hand. And she called him Naphtali. Now when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her unto Jacob to wife. So Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. Then said Leah, This is good luck. And she called him Gad. After this, Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob another son. Then said Leah, Well is me, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called him Aser. Reuben went out in the time of the wheat harvest, and found mandragoras in the field, and brought them home unto his mother Leah. Then said Rachel unto Leah, Give me some of thy son's mandragoras. She answered, Hast thou not enough that thou hast taken away my husband, but wilt take away my son's mandragoras also? Rachel said, Well, let him lie with thee this night for thy son's mandragoras. Now when Jacob came home at even from the field, Leah went forth to meet him, and said, Thou shalt lie with me, for I have bought thee for my son's mandragoras. And he slept with her that night. And God heard Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the 5th son, and said, God hath rewarded me, because I gave my maiden unto my husband. And she called him Issachar. Leah conceived yet again, and bare Jacob the 6th son, and said, God hath answered me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me again, for I have borne him 6 sons. And she called him Zabulon. After that she bare a daughter, whom she called Dinah. Nevertheless, God thought upon Rachel, and heard her, and made her fruitful. Then she conceived, and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my rebuke. And she called him Joseph, and said, God give me yet another son. Now when Rachel had borne Joseph, Jacob said unto Laban, Let me go, and depart into my place, and unto mine own land. Give me my wives and my children, for the which I have served thee, that I may go. For thou knowest what service I have done thee. Laban said unto him, Can I not find favor in thy sight? I perceive that God hath blessed me for thy sake. Appoint thou the reward that I shall give thee. But he said unto him, Thou knowest how I have served thee, and what manner of cattle thou hast under me. Thou hadst but little afore I came hither, but now is it grown into a multitude, and the Lord hath blessed thee for my sake. And now when shall I look to mine own house also? He said, What shall I then give thee? Jacob said, Thou shalt give me nothing at all, but if thou wilt do this for me, that I say, then will I feed and keep thy sheep again. I will go through all thy flocks today, and separate thou from among them all the sheep that be spotted and party-colored, and all black sheep among the lambs. Now look what shall be party-colored and spotted among the kids, the same shall be my reward. So shall my righteousness testify with me today or tomorrow, when it cometh unto my reward before thee, so that whatsoever is not spotted and party-colored among the kids, and black among the lambs, let that be theft with me. Then said Laban, Behold, let it be so as thou hast said. And that same day he sundered out the speckled and party-colored goats, and all the spotted and party-colored kids, where there was any white upon them, and all that was black among the lambs, and put them under the hand of his children, and made room of 3 days' journey wide betwixt him and Jacob. So Jacob kept the residue of Laban's flock. But Jacob took staves of green willies, hazel and of chestnut trees, and pilled white streaks in them, and laid the staves that he had pilled in the drinking troughs before the flock, which came there to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. So the flocks conceived over the staves, and brought forth speckled, spotted, and party-colored. Then Jacob parted the lambs, and put them to the flock unto the spotted, and all that was black in Laban's flock, that put he unto the spotted. And he made him a flock of his own, which he put not unto Laban's flock. Nevertheless, in the first bucking time of the flocks, he laid the staves in the drinking troughs before the eyes of the flocks, that they should conceive over the staves. But in the latter bucking time he laid them not in. So the latter were Laban's, but the firstlings were Jacob's. Thus the man became exceeding rich, so that he had many sheep, maidens, and servants, camels, and asses.